Hello, everyone, and good evening, and welcome to the New Jersey State Solo and Ensemble Festival Fun Facts. I hope it's fun. We got a fun crew, that's for sure, so far. My name is Dennis Argul. I have the privilege and the pleasure of being the director of the New Jersey State Solo and Ensemble Festival. And this is our first live stream to bring you some of the stories of the festival right here in our studio to you at home. I hope you have a great time learning about these teachers and their students and their experiences with our winter festival. Just a little bit of background, as some of you may not have participated or know too much about what we just pulled off for the first time, and hope to have a round two coming up soon. So in the late fall, we decided that there were so many things being canceled here in New Jersey because of the COVID pandemic. So many things that students were looking forward to that they weren't able to participate in, that we decided, and this is Arts Ed New Jersey with Bob Morris and I, to try to mount this virtual festival. And so with the help of some of our friends from like the Wisconsin State Music Association, who gave us their repertoire selections, and Music for All and Competition Suite, who helped.
I'm not sure if we're still.
Hi everyone, we're having some technical difficulties. It is not a problem. We will be live again momentarily.
I got bumped. I'm sitting here.
Technology.
Say it again.
Technology.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to do the best I can to not let that happen again, I guess. But so anyway, enough of me talking. Our big story, the first story that I wanted to feature with regard to the participants is, we had just over 900 students participate. And according to my records, and I'll just check it to make sure, 224 of them came from one school. We had 162 gold one-star recipients, top scores in the festival. 39 of them came from the same school. We had over 600 medalists in this festival. 231 came from the same school. Unbelievable. The students of J.P. Stevens are to be highlighted this evening, because that was the story that I wanted to tell first. How could this school, first of all, have upwards of 25% of our registrations and nearly 25% of our gold one stars, and just under a third or so, seemingly, of our total medal count? So I decided to reach out to their faculty and they to their students to get their stories tonight. And here in the studio with us, we have vocal director Matthew Lee, string directors Dr. Brian Verdi and Mr. Justin Lee, and band directors Mr. John Zazali and Mr. Andy DiNicola. Welcome, gentlemen. Thanks for being here with us on our inaugural night. Appreciate it.
We're thrilled to be here.
So,
thank you, Dennis. Oh, it looks like he got kicked off again.
Because you talk.
I think every time I say something, he gets kicked off. Well, we're still live, so we could talk amongst ourselves, I suppose.
Yeah, I'd say just anytime there's a problem or a technological issue, I would say just kind of hang out for a little bit until it gets resolved, like it is happening right now.
Well,
I could do some walking bass lines.
I am sorry, guys. I'm gonna try to sit in my closer to my router here and see if that helps.
So while he's doing that, do you guys want to talk about what the festival was like for you guys?
Sure, I'll start.
All of that?
Thanks, Jocelyn. Sure. We stumbled onto the announcement, I think sometime in late October, early November. There was a post I was sliding through my Facebook feed one night, and I saw Bob Morrison had shared this new idea with the Arts Ed New Jersey. And right away, it struck me because I just recently told the bad news to the students that we weren't going to be having a region band or an all-state band tryout this year. And what a better way of just still trying to keep them to work on solos, to get evaluated, to have an opportunity to perform and work on something that we can go over with them in their lessons. So we were excited about taking advantage of this right from the get-go. And then Brian Verdi walked into the band room maybe just a day or two after that I had noticed it. And we started to have a conversation just talking about, hey, what if we just made this like our region band for this year and said, tell every kid that would normally be trying out for regions, here's another opportunity. And I mean, as many people already know us, we tend to have a lot of students try out for regions and all-state band. It's something we push on the kids every year, and it motivates them to keep practicing on their own. And they seemingly enjoy doing it. We love to listen to them work on their solos and their scales. So this was just something that was able to fill that void during this terrible time. You know, we're all missing our ensembles right now. We're just missing opportunities to be with our kids in person. But at least this gave us a chance to still work with them on their solos in the Zoom lessons that we give them each day. And yeah, so we mentioned it to them, and we had, just in the band alone, we had almost 100 students who were like, we want to do this. So that was exciting. And I'll let Brian and Matt talk about orchestra and choir too.
Yeah, I think it's really important to set goals. And when everything this year was canceled, it really gave no focus to our lessons as to what are we preparing for. And in our own lessons, we really broke up our classes so that we could teach individual lessons more so than years previous, where we'd be teaching ensemble music in the lesson periods. We're fortunate to have the lesson periods, and we really wanted to have some nice goals for the students, and this was one of them. And we're looking forward to doing this again. And yes, All-State is coming around, but we're going to have our students do it again this coming, well, actually the registration just started in March 15th for the next Arts Ed. So the kids, I think, really thrived. And if they didn't have this, I don't think that they would have focused as much on their individual playing. And it was just a great opportunity for them. They got feedback from really world-renowned musicians from all around the New Jersey Symphony, some of the finest players, and we're very happy with the results and the comments.
Also nice to have options. Unlike All-State and regions, we have ensembles. Ensembles can try out, and ensembles can, get together and play and feedback on what they're doing, which is something that's unusual to what All-State is solo specific, and then you play in an ensemble. This situation, you actually have a group that you're formed, and you can get feedback on it, which I think is pretty cool. So that's something that I really particularly enjoyed.
And it also included all levels of players. It wasn't just your best players. We had there's, I think it's A, B, C, if I remember correctly. Kids who've just started are like the C level. B, I think, were your intermediate students. And A levels, I think, would be your region or All-State players. And we had all the students try out, and they all submitted if they couldn't pay. We were able to afford some money for them. So everybody was included. We didn't leave anyone out. And I think that's one of the things, region and All-State's great and all, but this competition includes all students of all levels, and nobody's left out, and they're all improving in some way.
And piggybacking off of that too, I have a student who saw this festival as a great opportunity to improve her own solo singing. She herself isn't able to do Saturdays, which is when All-State audition and rehearsals are. Also, her the Regions choir rehearsal schedule never works for her, and other students too kind of saw this as a great opportunity to get involved and work on their solo singing. So very welcome addition to the season. In the void that was created by the pandemic.
Dennis, since you're back, I'll defer my time to you. Better get going. We're behind.
Oh, there you go.
Gone again.
Well, we have to try to keep the people who are watching us entertained. So
come on, keep talking. Keep talking. You guys like talk a lot.
Well, Dean, you're very entertaining, so you should tell us.
No. I'm trying to. Jocelyn's back. Jocelyn, what do we have going on?
We're doing fine. From what I understand, there's different ranking levels. And what was it like receiving the like information back from the judges, because it's really, really cool that the judges are all different levels as well.
I think the students probably could tell you more about that than us. I mean, they got, they've got everything in front of them, telling them what they did. Dennis, you're back.
Jocelyn, thank you so much for pinch hitting here for me. I have absolutely no idea the gremlins that are at work and play on my internet right now, guys. I'm trying to mute myself and take myself out of.
Oh, poor guy. I feel bad, but
well, I think this is best describes everyone's year.
Yes, exactly.
Yep, pretty much.
Yep. It's like we're the students and Dennis is the teacher, and he keeps disappearing, so the students just get to, and we become the hosts. It always says one of the students becomes the host when the teacher drops out.
Oh, there's two of them.
Oh.
This is just like school too. There's two of us sometimes. There's three of us.
All right, let's see if I can at least introduce the kids. Let's see if I can get this in here. I'd like to bring in two of the vocal students that are here with us tonight, and then Mr. Lee can moderate the conversation. Let me see if I get this right. Shikta Mukherjee, I'd like to have her come in. I'll add her to the stream. And Ayushi Malik. Yay! Come on in, guys. I'm not totally helpless. Well, mostly, but not totally. Come on in. There we go. See, this is why they put me in charge as director, because I can handle all this stuff. Welcome, young ladies, with us. So happy to have you here. I know one of you is supposed to perform for us.
Matt, you better go.
All right. Well, I guess I'll just take over for now. So I think he was trying to say that we're having one of you perform tonight. But so why don't we start with that, and then we'll kind of launch into a little question and answer for a brief period of time. So Shikta, could you tell us about the song that you submitted, and perhaps show us a little snippet of it?
Okay, so I sang Das Veilchen by Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. So it's like a little song about a little violet and his story falling in love with a girl. And it ends kind of sad, but it's a very charming song. Okay, so I'll sing like about a minute of it then.
Thank you.
Ein Veilchen auf dem Wiese stand, gebückt in sich und unbekannt. Es war ein herziges Veilchen, da kam ein junger Schäferin mit leichtem Schritt und an dem Sinn war der Wiese und sang. Ach, denk das Veilchen, wenn ich nun die schönste Blume der Natur, ach Narr, ein kleines Veilchen, bis mich das Liebchen abgepflückt und an dem Busen naht gedrückt, ach Narr, ein Viertelstündchen lang. Yeah.
Thank you, Shikta.
Thank you.
That was wonderful. Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing. I think what I had to do, and John's giving you applause from the other room. I think one of the challenges I was having technologically, and I hope it's correct, is that we just had too much energy in the room. I had to remove some of the string and band guys, and I'll let them in accordingly. That was gorgeous. How long have you been singing?
I've been singing for a while. I think I formally started taking private lessons when I was in 5th grade. But yeah.
Okay, wonderful. How about you, Ayushi?
I've been singing for about probably 6-7 years. I started with Indian classical, and then from there I moved on to choir and Western music.
Wonderful, wonderful. Do you still sing your Indian classical music? Do you still have a chance to keep that alive in your life?
Yeah, I'm still doing it.
Beautiful. So, guys, share with us a little bit about your experience with the festival, about preparing the music, about the process of uploading the video and the PDF. Tell us what you went through for that.
Well, I guess I'll start a little bit, and then Chikta and you guys can add on as Mr. Argul, gets back online. So when I first heard about the ensemble solo ensemble festival, it's actually an invitation for me to serve on the rubric committee, which meant that I wouldn't be judging, but I would be helping and contributing to the actual rubric and the parameters, and basically how the judges would be adjudicating the festival. So I first was invited to be part of that by my good friend Olivia Gopal, and so I just thought to myself, this would be a really great opportunity for our students to get involved somehow. And then I kind of put it out there, and then Chikta and Yushi expressed great interest in this festival, and they had worked, and I got to hear them at several stages throughout the process. And so maybe we can move on to Ayushi first. Ayushi, could you tell me a little bit about how you chose the song that you picked, and how was it like to learn it?
So I picked Ave Maria by Franz Abt. And so this song, it stood out to me out of all the songs that I was given. And one of the reasons that I really liked the song was about God, and I do believe in God. So the song was, in a way, close to my heart. And so I wanted to sing the song and try to bring my own kind of taste to it, my own spice to it. And from there, I sang it and I performed it for Mr. Lee. He really liked it. And then from there, I kept practicing and practicing to give it perfection.
Awesome. And Chikta, could you also kind of tell us about your relationship with the song that you performed? How did you select the song? When did you learn it, etc.?
So my relationship with the song isn't as deep. I just kind of like the song. It's very fun, and there's a lot of like color contrast, and I think it's pretty like challenging too. I've had the song for quite a while. I actually started in 8th grade, so it's kind of like something I was consistently working on. I thought it'd be great to like do it for this competition.
Fantastic. And did both of you find a pretty easy time navigating the website and the registration process?
Yeah.
And then I guess we could talk a little bit about the submission process. So for especially there's viewers right now who are thinking about participating in the festival. But basically, what was happening is we registered when the window opened, before it closed, and then we were sent, or the director, myself, I was sent a link, which would give me a chance to upload the PDF as well as the video when you were ready by the deadline. And did you find yourself having ample time, both of you, Chikta and Yushi, preparing and recording it? Was it stressful preparing for the submission process?
Not really. There was a lot of time on my hands, and so I just used it to the best of my advantage and worked on the song during that time. And so it was not that stressful, I would say.
Yeah, I feel like there was like a lot of time to actually work on the piece, and like I even like recorded this piece a couple times, so I was able to like get the perfect recording and kind of send that in.
Great, fantastic.
With the feedback that you got from the judges, did it help support what Mr. Lee was doing with you in the classes? Did you get any different insight from them?
For me, I got more insight onto how I could better my voice. If I were going to say a few things from the adjudicator, she said that there was more potential in me. So, of course, I was able to improve just by hearing her voice and understanding where she's coming from.
Yeah, I personally feel like.
How about you, Chikta?
the feedback that the adjudicator gave me was like kind of similar to what Mr. Lee told me too. Like a lot of it was like really small things that I wouldn't really realize like listening to the stuff myself. So yeah, it was like diction and like small stylistic things which are really helpful.
That's great. That's great. Do you both have plans to what did I ask you yet? What year are you guys in your schooling?
Oh, I'm a sophomore in high school.
And yeah, I'm a junior.
Awesome. Have you started looking into your post-secondary schooling, your college, university? Are you going to pursue music, you think? Music performance? What are your thoughts on that?
I'm personally interested in pursuing vocal performance in college, and I've just kind of started looking into schools for that. So yeah.
Yeah, the same thing for me. I'm also looking for colleges that include vocal performances, choirs that can join on a higher level and just challenge myself in that way.
So Mr. Argul kind of dropped there for a second again. Oh, I he's back. Let's see if he's. Oh, there you are again.
I'm like a ping pong in and out of the studio, guys. I'm sorry about this. So I guess one last question for the singers. I'm hoping that you're both going to be participating in the spring festival.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you going to be trying to do a new video of the same piece of music, or do you think you may stretch out and do another selection?
I'm thinking of probably trying something new now because I feel like I did challenge myself in this song too, but I feel like I can also try harder songs and from there grow.
Okay.
Yeah, I think like same with me. Like I might want to do another song that's a little bit more challenging or like a different style, maybe like romantic or like even modern.
Wonderful. What do you think of their choices, Mr. Lee? Have you discussed that with them yet?
Yes, so I believe that both choices were great pieces for them developmentally in their vocal stage. Both of them provided very unique challenges. Ayushi's piece was in Latin, Shik's piece was in German. So there's a unique opportunity to discuss the intersection between vocal technique and the diction that comes with singing in different languages, and understanding the translation behind that. That's a huge part of vocal music that many people kind of maybe take a second look at and like, oh, I didn't realize that it was so complex in there, because it really is telling a story. So it was a really great way for them to kind of engage their imagination and creativity and storytelling skills. So I do think they were both great pieces for them, both in the musical content and in the story of each song.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that's an overlooked aspect of vocal performance is that added dimension. I mean, every musician tries to tell a story, but in your case, is the story's pretty much pre-delected, and you have to tell that story. And like you just mentioned, in the not your native language or not your secondary language, it's even more challenging because now you have in addition to the new musical language, now you have another romantic language to try to tell your story in. So, yeah, kudos to you. You both you sounded beautiful earlier, and I have not had a chance to watch all 900 plus videotapes, but I will make sure to visit yours to watch the tapes that you did submit to our adjudicator. So thank you both again for being with us. I look forward to having you take part in the spring festival. And I think we're going to move on to the string faculty and their students now. Thanks again, ladies, for being with us.
Thank you.
All right, let's see if we can get Mr. Lee, Justin, and Dr. Verdi back.
The other Mr.
studio.
Lee. There's
The
so
other
many
Mr. Lee.
Lees. I'm the original Mr. Lee.
By the way,
I added Justin. Here he comes.
yeah,
All right,
yeah, they're not
so-
related. By the way, just
Just in case. Yeah, they're only related by faculty. And we're going to have Christopher Chang and Priya Kodati joining us when they're in the queue here. I'll try to, before I get knocked off again, try to let them in here. I know you guys are having a really good time with my technical issues. And you know what? If I was in your position, I would too. Here comes one of our students. Priya is here.
Priya.
Hi, Priya.
Hi, Priya. Pleasure to meet you. I'm Dennis.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you for being here. I can't wait to hear you. You're performing for us, correct?
I am.
Awesome. Awesome. And now I'm just waiting for Christopher. I haven't seen him populate the green room yet. So, Mr. Verity, Dr. Verity, and Mr. Lee, you want to talk a little bit about your preparation of these students?
Sure.
Well,
Go ahead, Dr. Okay, I'll go. All right.
Work
So,
with Priya, so actually work with both of the students. We actually have another.
We're very We're very fortunate at JP Stevens that Dr. Verdi is doing the upper strings and I'm doing the lower strings. And, you know, it's great. I mean, having a bass, a cellist faculty, and an upper strings specialist is really unique to JP Stevens. And it's something that is very exciting. It's new this year. And Priya is a product of this this year. Even though she is a senior, we're still having a good time. And Priya, why did we pick this piece? Talk about the learning aspect of the piece with intonation properties, the technical barriers on the bass, because it's a little It's a little weird for the bass to be playing a lot of solo stuff. So, what do you think?
So the piece I was playing was the Largo movement from Henry Eccles, and the piece specifically was Sonata in G minor. And I think one of the difficult parts of this movement was that it was so exposed, considering it was a larger movement and it was slower. And in addition to that, it had a lot of notes in the upper register, which aren't normally common for basses when we're playing with ensembles, because we tend to have more of the bass lines and supporting the structure and rhythm of the ensemble overall. So having such notes in high register was creating an intonation problem at first. So it was definitely a challenge for me to overcome. But after some practice and work with Mr. Lee, I was able to get a better handle on those upper register notes. So I think that was one of the greatest learning experiences for me.
That's great.
Awesome.
And yeah, so what was it like recording this? And how did you feel when you weren't playing for an audience and you were just recording on your phone? Like, how did you imagine expressing yourself? You're just recording yourself on the phone.
I think one of the biggest experiences that I got out of recording myself was that I was really exposed to what I was playing. And there was not necessarily an audience, so I was fully focused on what I was playing and not necessarily who was around me. So when I was recording, of course, it was a weird feeling because I am used to playing in front of an audience, but I think it was a great learning experience being able to do everything online and fully being aware of what I was playing.
Great. So I'm Dennis, if you're ready to have her perform, I'm ready to have her perform, and that'd be great. Oh, go for it, Priya. You're gonna get yourself situated.
And we did have a violinist to perform tonight. Unfortunately, something happened, so we're unable to get the upper strings as part of this.
I guess we'll start now.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
Thank you, Priya.
Thank you.
It was wonderful.
And
I
now
love
we
your robust tone.
And we have
Go ahead,
Chris.
Brian.
Oh, I'm sorry. We have Chris here. Chris, are you playing tonight? Oh, geez, got a lot of feedback.
No, Dr. Reddy, I don't think I am playing tonight.
Okay, so what was your experience like? How did the feedback affect you?
I thought the feedback they gave me was very insightful in that it was very specific, and although it was very constructive, and I always felt that they were trying to while they did criticize the way I played, they also tried to find upsides and ways I could improve and add to those and really enhance my playing.
Okay. So it was a positive experience. Would you do it again?
Yeah, sure, definitely. Just the feeling of having something to work for, and during this year, there's so many uncertainties, and just having that one solid date, and just having that one deadline of submission, and when I could get like back, that was something to work for. We all need things to work for, so I think that was really great for me.
I think this is going to be something that we're going to do if students aren't going to be doing all states or for this May or June when it was moved to. That's one of the things I think that would be a positive experience for students. I'm not sure if both of you would agree, Priya, Chris, something that you'd wanted to do, continue to do. And you know what? You can even use your all-state piece. Well, you're not doing all-state. You're both seniors. But the other students who did get gold or who may want to do it again, definitely do it. So that's something.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, if I can say a couple of sentences before I get kicked off again. As a former educator of many years, and I always remember having the desire that we didn't have enough time in our schedules to work on solo ensemble or solo literature, chamber music literature. It was always large ensembles. So in a inverse way or an adverse way, it was great to have this option for students to really focus on their own musicianship, and then when the catharsis of being able to come together, hopefully in September, to be able to play as a large orchestra and everybody's musicianship level going up that much higher, it should be an amazing experience for the students that are able to have that in September. So it's wonderful. It may have happened when I was bumped off, but can you tell me what your grades are in school in terms of your year in school? Are you both seniors?
Yeah, we're both seniors.
Are you pursuing music performance or the arts as a secondary, post-secondary option? Yes.
Well, personally,
yeah, you can go first. Actually, sorry.
So what I was gonna say was, I'm not necessarily going into the music field, but it is something I do want to continue throughout my life. So whether that be playing in orchestras outside or taking courses within the school, that is something I do want to continue throughout my further years in education too.
Yeah, he's not here right now, but I do want to express that is definitely something that I would. That is definitely something that I would consider doing. Even though my major is not strictly music related, that's definitely something I want to pursue as an extracurricular. And I don't want to give up all the years of experience that being an orchestra and having these lessons has given me.
That's great. Just on a personal note, I was a pharmacy major my first year. So when I discovered that I didn't want to do that for the rest of my life, I really wanted to be a music educator. That's what turned me back on. So I think you're both great to have it still in your life. I'm sorry, Dr. Verdi, you wanted to say something.
I think that I may have said this already, but we're very fortunate at JP to be able to have a little string specialist, and that we can work with students in the small ensemble lessons. But yeah, we're definitely gearing up for those virtual concerts again. And I think that so we're going to continue to do this until the very end of the year and keep them busy to the end of the school year as best as we can. So you both got a lot of this, so that's really good.
Well, thank you both, Priya and Christopher, for being with us here this evening. We're going to go on to the band component of the J.P. Stevens folks, and so let me see if I can set up the studio with them now, if I can make this happen without dropping myself as well. Thanks again, Dr. Verdi. We'll have you back before the end of it. And Justin, same thing. All right, let's bring back Mr. DiNicola, Mr. Zazali. And then joining us from the band program, we have Sriya Chinfalapudi, Farah Mabwe, and Mohit Singh, correct? All right.
Perfect.
Sorry again, guys, for this challenges that I'm having, but you guys are doing a better job of making the conversation go on than I am. So as soon as
First time jitters.
Yeah, exactly. I think it might be because I'm using my iPad and the bandwidth isn't enough, but I'll figure it out and get to it. So you guys had the band folks had over half of the registrations from the total registration. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Okay. And is that? Go ahead, John.
I was just going to say, as my colleagues were talking about, we in the wind ensemble, we require the students to try out for region, right? So this was simple for those 60 kids. They had to do it. They were set ahead of time that was what they were going to do. I was very proud, and I know John wants to do that. There were more of the younger kids that were interested, right, John? I mean, they had 60 kids, excuse me, from the wind ensemble, but then there were an additional 50 kids or so, freshmen included, that were interested. And not all those youngsters were taking the C level. You know, we had a couple freshmen that scored extremely high, got perfect scores. And went the A level, which was the most advanced, I guess. Out of those, we're proud to say that 33 of those kids were gold ratings, and that's kind of we never thought that was going to happen. We were very happy to see that region was going to become what you made it. So I would like to thank you right now for making this happen.
Yeah,
we were stuck with nothing. There was nothing going to be going on.
Yeah, I just want to add, and I think it's important to mention, New Jersey has always been looked at as behind the eight ball when it comes to solo and ensembles. We're always looked at in high regard when it comes to the all-state experience. All-state conductors come from all over the country, and they love coming to New Jersey. But for whatever reason, our state has always been kind of behind when it came to having students go at it in solo and ensemble festivals and things of that nature for whatever reason. And I think this is a good step in the right direction. Just to compare ourselves to, maybe like a Texas where they have this going on more regularly and students take part in it. It would be great to see more students around the whole state of New Jersey to be pushed to do this. Mr. Fossa, I'll give him a little plug for a second. Back when I was in high school in the 90s, Mr. Fossa had a band program at Carteret High School, and many people remember him and revered him as well. And he always had a small ensemble festival, and Mr. DiNicola would take all his students. And I remember going to that, I think my sophomore, junior, and senior year. And we looked forward to it. It gave us an opportunity to show off in the small ensemble realm, and that went away for when Mr. Fossa retired, that went away. So Mr. DiNicola and I said, well, maybe we should host a small ensemble festival of our own. And we did, and a few schools came along, Hillsborough High School, South Brunswick High School, Edison High School, Bridgewater High School. A couple of schools came and brought like one or two groups with them, and that worked for about a couple of years. But then that eventually died out as well. And we had just decided, Mr. DiNicola and myself, to continue to do our own small ensemble festival in the band room, keep it more intimate with just our own students, and we would hold it in May each year. And that seemed to work out pretty well, wouldn't you say, Dean? For like the last decade or so, we've been doing that now. And, the students look forward to it. Unfortunately, we haven't had that in 2 years now, because obviously last year we weren't able to. But we look forward to getting back to that again. So hopefully, more students will jump on board with this solo ensemble festival.
Well, we hope that through the challenging of the time, this can become part of the fabric of what New Jersey offers the kids. And we know that their schedules are busy and packed with, all kinds of events, but at least there'll be an option for them to participate. And we hope to continue that. So let's get to the students. I understand that Mrs. DiNicola and Mrs. Zali shared that I think Sriya is going to perform part of the solo that she performed for the festival. Is that correct?
Yes.
Awesome. Sriya, you want to tell us a little bit about it?
Sure. Hi. I'm a senior at J.P. Stevens High School. Today I'll be playing a little snippet from the Sonatina by Burton. Gotcha.
That was wonderful. I love your command of the range of the instrument, especially the low register. It's beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for sharing that with us. So, so Farah, Mohit, and Sriya, tell us about your experience with preparing for the ensemble festival, the solo ensemble festival, and I'm more interested in hearing about the preparation of the video and then the commentary from the judges. What did you learn? How did you grow as a musician during this time?
Sure. So I started off with my piece. My private teacher helped me kind of suggest a few pieces that might work based on her understanding of my style and what she thought might fit for me. So I listened to a few pieces, and while I was listening to this one in particular, I was really I was hearing the technical things, like the way the end tapers off, and while listening to some people performing, I was like, wow, that's something I really want to focus on for the next few months, like my control of how I taper off and how I control the second half of the note. And so I thought that was something that working on this piece for the next few months, something that I could really work on. And by the time I was recording, I could actually hear my progress over the past few months. And it was really, I felt like definitely working on this piece, and especially with the commentary too, I could hear my progress and my growth, but I could also see what other things I could work on going forward. So I'm planning on doing this piece again for the state festival and working on those aspects.
Thank you. How about you, Mohit?
So when I heard Mr. Z announce we were gonna have a sort of region festival, but it was gonna be NJ Arts, I thought I want to pick something that was challenging for myself, so I can really grow this year, because there hasn't been many events for us to play this year overall, obviously. So I went through the songs. I picked what I believed was not too difficult, where I can't play anything, but not easy. So I went with Concertino by Rimsky-Korsakov. And so I was playing it. I thought I played every piece that I wanted to do. So when I played it, I thought the range went really high, really low, dynamics really high, really low. Everything about it was really difficult. It went from really beautiful soft sections to really strong but melodic sections. Tempos were very different, so I thought it would be a perfect challenge where I can develop. So I picked it, and when I was adjudicated, everything that I did wrong or good was noted. So everything I challenged myself in, he saw it immediately, my judge. So I thought that was really helpful. He picked out every single thing that I might have done wrong or I did well, and he told me how to improve on them too. So I really like the adjudicating process.
Thank you very much. And Farah, can you share your experience with us, please?
Yeah, exactly what Mo had said before. This festival really gave us the push and the motivation to practice our instrument given our new reality. So I picked a piece that could really bring out my my sound and and my technique. And obviously something challenging, of course. And thanks to Mr. Nicola and Mr. Zali, they're able to facilitate that for me and my ability to get a good score. So yeah, overall the experience was really nice. Gave me something to work towards. So
Awesome. You guys, were you able to? I know that on Competition Suite, you're able to download the commentary from the judges and keep it. Did you guys do that? Great. I think it'd be good to reflect on moving down the road. That's great. And are all three of you participating? I know Priya said she's participating in the Spring Festival. You guys will also do the same?
Yeah.
Same piece, Mohit?
Yeah, I will. I will also participate.
Are you gonna play the same Rimsky-Korsakov?
Yeah, I think I will.
Great.
Because I want to improve on the things that my judge said I can improve on.
Great. Now I happen to know. I mean, I know because we only had the one trombone judge. He was a gentleman who's originally from New Jersey, but he's located in Texas now. And he was really impressed with the level of performance of most of the candidates. He actually judged the euphoniums and some of the euphoniums and all the trombones. So I don't know exactly off the top of my head who Sriya or Farah's judges were. Farah may have been. Do you play tenor, Farah? Baritone?
Yeah, his internet might not be working, but yes, he played the tenor sax.
Tenor. So it was probably Jay. It might have been Jay Bocook or Debbie Confredo, but two amazing judges. Good for you. So thanks very much, guys, for being here tonight. I can't wait to go later on this evening and check out your videotapes. I have access to them, so I'm going to go watch all the performances. I saw some, but not everybody here tonight. And then definitely looking forward to you participating for the spring. Thanks again for being here. All right, I'm going to let the students go and bring back the faculty. Let's see if I can do this correctly. All right, say hello to Dr. Verdi. Bring back Mr. Lee here. And who am I missing? Matthew Lee. Let's bring back Mr. Lee. Did I do that correctly? Is everybody back in the room? Farah's still here. All right.
Perfect.
Yeah, perfect. That's right. That's it. Done in one take. So this is how not to host a live stream, but you guys were amazing, and your students were. Thank you so much for being here. So tell us what's going on. I'm also interested. This is about the time. I guess it's maybe. You guys tell me. This is about the middle of the concert band festival, usually, in the string orchestra festival time for you guys, right?
Yeah, right about now is this upcoming weekend. I think is usually when we go, or maybe next weekend is when we go to Roxbury for their Metropolitan Wind Band Invitational. That's like and not to mention the Region Concert Band Festival is usually taking place throughout the whole week of, I think, the third week of March. So this is like heavy concert band season for us. Not to mention there's usually a jazz festival on every Friday throughout the month of March. So this is usually super busy for us.
Right. And how about the vocal and string worlds? What are your kids not able to, what are they dealing with the not having the ability to do this year right now?
We're not doing the Metropolitan Band Festival. We entered anyway. There's some great adjudicators there. Peter Boonshaft for one, but some really, really great adjudicators there. And we're not doing that. And we usually do some type of competition somewhere. So that's just, and planning for our spring trip usually. It's just not happening, obviously.
Right, right, right.
Yeah,
And
same. We
Mr.
are
Lee?
preparing for the Roxbury Vocal Invitational. It's been going on for 30 years now. Last year was the first year that they had to cancel that one. Always a big highlight of the season for my students. Going to Westminster Choir Invitational didn't happen this year. They're doing a virtual version instead, and also preparing for a competition, just like Dr. Verdi was saying. Last year we were fortunate enough to go down in Orlando right before everything shut down for a competition, but this year no such luck. And coming up in May, they would normally be preparing for the New Jersey American Choral Directors Association Festival as well, and all of that they're just missing, and they're missing just being together and singing and making music in the same room.
Yeah, we couldn't supply that, the being together part, in as much as we would love to be able to. But we're hoping that for the spring, more educators are trying to figure out how to move some of their rehearsals outside. Maybe have quintets, octets, some smaller large ensembles. We did have one show choir participate of 18 students and one string ensemble of 19 students participate in our festival. We did put a cap at 30 because of the COVID restrictions. We just thought it would be impossible to try to rehearse even outdoors any more than that if you could. Something you guys have mentioned, this is a question I wasn't prepared to ask until I started hearing some of your feedback. One of the things we were trying to be intentional about with this festival was to make it a festival and really try to appreciate, reward, and admire the talent level of the individual students, not making it a competition. Some of my adjudicators, we had to let them know that they weren't ranking students. They were simply rating them on that performance against the rubric. And so, do you think this is speak freely, is this a better way of going about what we do with music
Well,
education?
what was neat, yeah, what I thought, Dennis, was really cool about this way of doing it was the students, because they're not comparing themselves to the other trombones next to them or to the other flutes next to them, they got to choose a piece of music that they really wanted to perform. As opposed to when you do try out for regions or all-state, typically everyone's being told this is the one piece you have to work on now for the next 6 months, and everybody in the state of New Jersey's singing the same song or fiddling on the same piece. At least this gave every student opportunity to practice something that was reputable on their instrument, a piece of music that was approved by ARTED, New Jersey, and there was plenty of choices to select from. I think the students enjoyed having that option of picking the piece that they wanted to play.
Great. Yeah, just in case for your students to know and for you to know, just in case we didn't cover it well enough, is even though there's 11,000 plus titles there is a process whereby a student can pick, and you can pick a piece that's not on that list for your student. And you just have to complete a permission request form and send the piece in so we can be classified in the right area for them. That's it. So, because we really want to be as all-encompassing and open to tent as possible and let everybody in. So if that's an option for students, especially for those students who maybe are not quite ready for the A or B level rep, please let them know they can choose something. And if you have student composers, they can enter one of their pieces, even for comments only. It doesn't have to be for even a scoring or a rating. If they could just get comments, and we had 4 composers on our adjudication staff. So if there's something they want to compose, let's make it happen. Oh, just by the way, we picked up another adjudicator for the spring festival that the jazz folks would be, I think, impressed with. John Riley is going to be on board for our jazz drum set. So that's if you have a kid or students who are interested in entering that area, it's going to be pretty sweet. We're working on a couple others which I can't let loose until they're confirmed, but we're looking to even improve in that area and expand in that area. Let's talk about what else is going on at JP Stevens, though. What we talked about the sadness of what we can't do. What's coming up that we can tell our audience? Stay tuned and make a date to go check out a production or a concert at JP.
Well, we're starting rehearsals after school when we get back. We're going to go virtual after April for a couple of weeks, and then once that happens, we're going to have some rehearsals after school. and see if more students can join us. And this time it's going to be in school. We're going to have the rehearsals, and outside we might do a performance, record a live concert. So that's exciting for the spring, because everybody knows how difficult it is to edit. I'd rather have the students play an authentic performance and really make some musical phrasings and do all the stuff we used to do. And it's exciting for us to do it, and the kids are just dying to come back to do something like that. So that's how I hope to end the year with.
Beautiful. Anybody else? What's happening in the vocal world? You're muted, I think. Matthew, you're muted.
I'm muted. Sorry about that. Rookie mistakes.
It's okay.
So we're looking forward to having in-person rehearsals as well, beginning this week, and then perhaps after we come back from remote in April. It's sometimes a struggle to get a balanced ensemble, but we're working with whatever we have. I told them it doesn't matter what we sing, doesn't matter what we're working on. It's just a privilege to be together again, within safe parameters, of course. Besides that, I gave my students an opportunity to pick their own solo and ensemble projects, and they would kind of use this platform Soundtrap and then also GarageBand to make their own recordings, and then make them into composite projects. And so we have a little kind of like a showcase coming up next Thursday to raise money for our Senior Scholarship Fund. We're calling it the Senior Scholarship Fundraising Concert. Next Thursday at 5 p.m. You can go to jpschoir.org for more information. It'll be on YouTube from here. But we're looking forward to that. Kids have been working really hard for that. And, we want to focus on what we can do instead of what we can't do in this time.
Awesome. Love it. Great job. Thank you. And how about Andy and John? What's up with the bands?
What we've been doing is rehearsing jazz bands actually in person in school, but we've had to do them in sections. Monday, I might be doing trumpets after school. Tuesday, saxophones. Thursday, trombone. Friday, and my good friend Mr. Lee came and covered the bass book a few times because the girl was sick. She was out. But we've rehearsed that way. And finally, this week, I'm going to try to put two groups together. Like tomorrow, I'll be doing trombones and trumpets. And then on Friday, I'll do the saxophones with the rhythm section. But other than that, everything's been, there's been no wind ensemble rehearsals that we could do. I'm looking forward, and I know John is, to that warm weather where we can finally take it outside and rehearse it.
Yeah,
John?
we got spoiled last week with a couple of nice days. I thought I was going to be able to teach my little 4th and 5th grade kids out there this week, but not today and tomorrow, that's for sure.
Well, the indoor drum line went outside last week, right, John?
Yeah.
They went outside, and so did the guard getting ready for next season. But outside of them, that's been it.
Yeah, we're hoping that the wind ensemble and maybe perhaps the freshman band, symphonic band as well, but definitely the wind ensemble can meet after school or in the early evening once we get into later April, early May. And the light, obviously the sun will be out until 8 o'clock at night, and the weather will hopefully be in the 60s and 70s at that point. So that's really all we're hoping for, because you can't put 60 people in a room together and play. You just can't. So
right.
That's just where we're at right now.
In the best of circumstances, right? Sure. Yeah, look for this. There's going to be more. There's going to be some more guidance coming down from the National Federation of High Schools in the coming weeks, but I don't expect it to be, too dramatically more than what we're able to do now. Scientifically, we're making strides, but we still have to be safe, right? And we still have to be mindful of all that. But in a couple of minutes, we have a minute left or so. I want to thank you all again for being here, for being patient through my challenges, for keeping the kids and moving forward with their conversations. All the kids were terrific, great ambassadors for your programs. It's always a pleasure, because you guys know that I attend a lot of those festivals when they're hosted at your campus. And it's always a pleasure to hear your kids play and watch you guys direct your ensembles. You're definitely one of the beacons in terms of a program in the state. And it was a pleasure to have you here with us tonight as the initial stream to share the successes of the previous festival and talk about the upcoming festival. So thank you again. And I look forward to seeing your kids for the spring festival. Hi, John's daughter. What's her name?
Hi.
This is Anna Rose. Say hello.
Dennis, thank you very much, Dennis, for everything that you've done, really. And I want to say happy birthday to Leo tomorrow, John. Leo, your son's 1 year old tomorrow.
Yes, my Leo,
Happy birthday.
my son Leo was born when the pandemic hit, and I was very lucky to actually see him delivered in the hospital. But literally a couple days after the delivery, they shut down the hospital. They weren't allowing anyone except the person giving delivery to go in the hospital. So I can't imagine all the poor women who they had to deliver without their husbands being in the room with them. But I was very blessed and fortunate to be able to see my son born, and it's just a crazy experience, this whole thing.
Yeah, you have another your colleague here has another story that's similar. Isn't that correct, Justin?
Yeah, my daughter is born today. St. Patrick's Day is her birthday. She's right there. There she is with Mrs. Lee, and same experience. Yeah, so we're very fortunate to be able to witness the birth.
See all these kids that we're celebrating here, those 8 or 9 kids that we had on earlier, those are somebody's babies, and you guys deal with them every day, and you take them to the next step of their lives on their musical journeys, and you're all heroes, man. You guys, teachers in general, music teachers, that my heart goes out to every one of you, because these are the kids that the way you see your kid now is the way these moms and dads see their kids still, even as seniors in high school. So, all right, we're overboard here. Thank you so much again for being here. If I can figure out my technical issues, we're going to be back next week with another story. We're going to have some students from our urban and rural districts, and we're going to continue talking about the New Jersey State and Ensemble Solo Festival Fun Facts. Take care. Have a good night, and I'll see you next week, guys. Bye-bye.
Good night, everybody.
Bye-bye.